Hello everybody, I am not dead yet, and I am disappointed in the fitness industry. And I'm just going to take this video to talk about it, lay out my thoughts on a few things that just kind of upset me as a whole. And I know a lot of people are probably going to think that this is going to turn to the whole testosterone situation, especially considering now that that sort of died down, and I never really fully gave my thoughts on it, and that is partly what I'm going to be doing in this video. However, I also want to kind of turn the topic to the fitness industry as a whole, because the more time I spend in it, both like online and in person, working in commercial gyms, being around personal trainers and everything else, and the more I learn about the sort of inner workings of the industry, the more disappointed I kind of become with it. In regards to the whole testosterone situation, about 3 weeks ago, Greg put out a video where he talks about how he tested his Turk Builder product, and his results were that they actually were double the label claim of Ajuga turkestansia extract. However, there was no testosterone present in his product, at least not in large quantities, only in trace amounts. And the reason why people were feeling effects, or people, found that it was working, aside from the placebo effect, was due to the mix of other ecdie steroids that were present in the Turk Builder product. And he also believes that pretty much every other testosterone product on the market currently is the exact same as his, basically because a lot of these testosterone, as I've mentioned in my previous videos on this topic, a lot of their testosterone companies or supplement companies get their testosterone from the same supplier, and so he put out a challenge to other supplement companies selling testosterone to prove that there's actually testosterone in their products, and so far nobody has taken him up on that offer. Although I have seen people make videos, I think it was Alec Gonkiri who I first saw make a video calling Greg kind of a snitch, where he's snitching out all the people in the kind of supplement industry. He's throwing his other fellow supplement companies under the bus to make himself look better, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I do think it's important to encourage the other companies to, just show their hand, right? I think that just benefits everybody, whether you think it is solely to save his own ass and make himself look better or not. I do think it is good that he did that. However, I am disappointed, and I disagree with the actions he's taken since then. And one of the reasons why I've been waiting and I haven't made this video yet was because I wanted to see a little bit more of the fallout of this, and it seems like it's mainly been swept under the rug and completely forgotten. So I assume that's what's happened, and I think I'll just give my thoughts on the matter now. So Greg is still selling his Turk Builder product, still branded as Turk Builder, and to my knowledge, he has not issued refunds and is not issuing refunds for his Turk Builder product unless they are unopened. I saw a post on Instagram, and I'll have Skybox Designs throw it up right now, where somebody DM'd Greg saying they would like a refund because they wanted testosterone and weren't given testosterone by his own admission, and he replied, "We are refunding everybody so long as they ship back unopened bottles of their Turk Builder product." And again, I would first like to say I don't know if this is true or not. I have not talked to Greg or Derek, moreplacemore.com, or anybody really since all those videos dropped or anything, so I have no real insider's information on what the actual process is or what's going on behind the scenes currently. I'm just making this video with my thoughts as an outsider looking in. But I personally do not agree with that. I don't think he needs to necessarily stop selling it, and I don't think he needs to necessarily have a full-blown recall, because there are people that are still happy with the product. I've scrolled through both my comment section and Greg's comment section, and I've seen a lot of people say, "I don't really care, it's still working for me, I'm gonna keep buying it," and that's all well and good. However, I do think the option to get refunded for what you purchased should be there. You should have the option to, should you desire it, because, again, for the longest time, Greg marketed it as testosterone, and by his own admission, there is no testosterone in the product. I should also mention that Greg took down, or I assume it's happened by now, it's been 3 weeks, took down all his videos where he talked specifically about testosterone and, praised the supplement or whatever, and talked about his own product as testosterone, as just a means to kind of do damage control, and you could say damage control for his reputation, but also damage control of the false information that, you know, there's terkesterone in his product. However, I don't think just because he mentioned terkesterone at the end card of a lot of his videos that he can really just take down everything, and there's still probably videos out there where he mentions in passing that he's selling terkesterone, right? And the straight up fact of the matter is he's not selling terkesterone. I think he's selling, the main compound was hydroxyecdysterone, I think, based off the top of my head. But yeah, so I don't necessarily think that you have to take it all away from everybody, but I do think the option should be there because you basically marketed it as terkesterone, and by your own admission, that's not what it is. I also think a rebrand is in order. Like, it's still called Turk Builder, and I think that's just kind of misleading. Again, there's no real Turk in Turk Builder. However, moving on from Greg a little bit, or not moving on, but branching out from Greg a little bit, and on to Derek, and because I've mainly talked about Derek and Greg, because I've seen some people talk, I'm like, you're being too hard on Greg or Derek, and I've had someone say, like, my previous 2 videos were really harsh on Derek, and, like, not really, at least I don't think so, but I'll put the disclaimer here, I still like Greg and Derek. I can disagree with, you know, the decisions they make, or be disappointed in the decision they make, but that doesn't mean I'm going to throw the entire person away. But I do think that I should probably voice my disagreements, especially considering, you know, the reputation I've built up in the community, calling out all these different people. I do believe that, you know, I should probably voice when I disagree with something. And on Derek's end, like, he's still selling terkesterone. Like, Greg in that regard is a little bit better, at least depending on how you want to see it, because again, Turk Builder, but Derek on Gorilla Mind still has a thing where you can buy terkesterone, and I actually looked, and the thing that they say is the exact same thing, descriptor between HTLT and Gorilla Mind. Each capsule contains 500 milligrams of Ajuga turkestansia extract standardized to 10% terkesterone. 500 milligrams of Ajuga turkestansia extract standardized at 10%. And I do know Greg and Derek talk, so maybe they just talked about, you know, making sure they have all their bases covered. And again, to a certain extent, I don't blame them. I mean, this is a big mess. And I understand why people wouldn't want to refund everyone. I mean, like, again, that's a lot of money. He sold to hundreds of thousands of people over the course of months. But, I mean, and I don't know if that would bankrupt this company or not. I'm not entirely sure. But the way I kind of see it is that's the kind of risk you take when you sell an experimental supplement. I mean, people are... But to a certain extent, people decide to take the risks with terkesterone, but at the same time, they believe that they would at least be buying terkesterone. So, you know, even if terkesterone didn't work, I mean, at least you were buying terkesterone, right? So I still think, you know, refunds, the option to be refunded should be there. But again, they still talk about terkesterone. We have no idea if there's actual terkesterone in Derek's terkesterone beyond trace amounts, but my best guess would probably be no. And then Greg, there's still the word terkesterone kind of strewn about in his description. Steroids like terkesterone are structurally different from anabolic steroids, therefore work differently with fewer risks. If terkesterone and 20-HE has positive effects on lipid, protein hydroxy, lipid, and carbohydrate metabolism, it could be very viable to help with weight maintenance and fat loss. So it is interesting to see that he updated the 20-HE, which is the new kind of main compound of Turk Builder, but I do still believe that a rebrand would be in order. I don't think it should be Turk Builder if Turk is only in there in trace amounts, but that's just kind of my view on the whole thing. Okay, so I just looked on Gorilla Mind. It does not seem like Derek is selling ecdysteroids separate of his terkesterone anymore. And if that truly is the case, I may just be bad at navigating his site. I don't shop for supplements at Gorilla Mind. I mainly just shop for supplements in my local supplement store. But from the looks of things, he's no longer selling ecdysteroids as well as terkesterone, so that's a little bit better. And again, I can't really hit him with the I think a rebrand is in order, because there is no proof that there is not terkesterone in his product. However, I would be a little bit more skeptical about it. Again, You know, these are the things that I think should happen in the most ideal scenarios possible, but again, I understand that, you know, businesses are businesses and there may be other stuff that I just don't know, but I think that's my really view on testosterone in general. But I just kind of want to take this video as an opportunity to kind of just talk about my disappointment with the fitness industry in general, because the more time I spend in it, and I don't just mean online with, like, you know, the shitty coaches and the, you know, shoddy supplements, but even just in working at commercial gyms and in various different types of gyms around in the supplement industry outside of boxing, because boxing was my main everything, and I mean, I knew how crappy boxing was from the get-go, but really seeing the inner workings of the fitness industry really disappointed me. And it does come down to marketing, mainly predatory marketing made to take advantage of stupid people and con them out of their money. I've seen a lot of you know, memberships in the various different places I've been to and places I've worked at when it comes to gym memberships that act very predatory, made to nickel and dime you. I'm not going to name specific ones because I don't want to get sued by any of these people if they happen to stumble across this YouTube video. But yeah, they set it up in a way to milk as much money from you as possible and make it as hard to cancel as possible. And I understand that's like the point. It's the same thing with like a cell phone plan or whatever, but it doesn't mean, or like your local cable TV and internet bundle or whatever. But it's still frustrating, and it's still, you know, it makes me feel so scummy. Like, I've learned that I just hate sales. I really do. And I can be a good salesman. Like, I know how to speak. I know how to present things and talk. But I just feel so scummy when I'm trying to sell something. It's like, oh, well, you should believe in the stuff you're selling. But even if I believe in it, like, the more I learn about sales, the more it's like, oh, here's this script that we've concocted for you to arouse the best feelings in the customer and make them feel welcome and that, like, we're friendly and like we're not trying to sell them something, even though we are, and then you're gonna make a real connection with them even though the connection's built on a script that we gave you. Here's a list of all the different possible complaints they might have and how you should address them to maximize the best possible outcome. Like, I want you guys to know that whenever you walk into like anything, like a commercial gym, a GNC, a Popeyes, or whatever, pretty much everything when it comes to sales is just meticulously crafted. And even if it isn't, it's best to act like it is. It frustrates me that even sometimes, like, when the person's acting chill, it's like there's a script that they kind of have in their head to act chill, and it's like, It's stuff like this that turns people away from whatever, whether it's lifting weights, boxing, running, CrossFit, like anything. It's when people turns away people from exercise. They're sold on the bullshit and the garbage, and the nickel and dime, so they believe it's a massive money sink. And again, this all does tie into the whole testosterone situation. And again, I do want to stress that, like, I'm not solely signaling out Greg and Derek. Everything I say applies to literally anyone else who sells testosterone as well. Chris Bumstead was someone I mentioned. And then there was also, like, Something Wood and Swole AF. Like, but the thing is, I don't care about those other companies. Like, I care about Greg and Derek. And so you know, they're the ones I actually watch, and they're the ones that affect me the most. But it just, like, the more time I spend in this industry, the more it feels just like nobody gives a shit. And again, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, like, did you expect anything else? And I guess the real answer is no. But trust me, it's a lot more, like, frustrating when you see it firsthand. It's one thing to kind of know about it and hear about it and talk about it, but when you're a part of it and you see how it all interworks, it's like, wow, almost nothing here is authentic. And you know what? That includes me. I want to put that out there. Like, be cautious of me too. You know, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I have my biases. I straight up said I still like Greg and Derek despite this. And yeah, it's been a tough time trying to even rationalize that. I'll admit that. I still like these Greg and Derek, and I still want to like Greg and Derek, despite this. And despite the fact how quickly I shut down Remington James. Is this hypocritical behavior? Maybe. Like, I could try and argue no, because I gave Rem a chance after everything came out and whatnot, but at the end of the day, like, you know, I probably burnt more cardio, or burnt more calories in the mental gymnastics than I did, you know, on my run today, trying to figure out how to make all this shit line up with my philosophies. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Even this video, I'm not entirely sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I'm saying is what I actually feel. But at the same time, again, I still like Greg and I still like Derek. And I still hope to, you know, continue to be friends with Greg, and I hope to eventually make connections with Derek at some point. And again, maybe some people who follow me will call me a hypocrite for that. Maybe they're not entirely wrong. I'm not sure. And that's another reason why it took me so long to make this video, was just trying to think about what I would actually say and how I would say it. So I'm being upfront here. Those are my biases, and that's how I feel. And the more time I spend in the fitness industry in every capacity, not just online, the more conflicted and strange I feel about the whole thing. And I don't even blame originally well-intentioned people for getting swept up in it, because it's very easy for you to just turn your brain off and just like, go with it. Like, we all are busy, and I found that, like, I just don't care. Like, I've got so much stuff going on with boxing, my job, my friends, a girlfriend. Yeah, I got a girlfriend now. Woo, go me. But just with all of that, like, sometimes you just don't have the energy to delegate to other stuff. And again, maybe I should care more, but the honest fact of the matter is I don't, and I'm at part frustrated with just the industry as a whole, all the failings and all the manipulation and all the bullshit in the industry. But at the same time, I'm just whatever, you know. This video wasn't even supposed to turn into this type of rant, but I think it's important to hear this, and I'm doing my best to be as real as I can. And that's just the supplement and, like, business corporation side of things. Let's not talk about the fake natties and the bullshit, like, god awful, absolutely terrible fitness influencers that are out there. Like, absolutely horrendous. I just saw a collab. I didn't watch it, but I saw, like, posts about a collab between Jesse James West and Andrew Tate. Like, oh great, you get two fucking obnoxious idiots for the price of one. What a bargain. Like, and those are the people that people want to look up to? Like, and then even just bodybuilders. Like, sure, they're good at building muscle, but I wouldn't call them fit. Like, boxers and fighters are the most fit athletes in the world. But not all of them look it. Because for boxing, you need a mix of everything. Whereas, you know, again, bodybuilding, you just need to know how to diet down, and you need to know how to, you know, build muscle. And which is good if you're looking to lose weight or whatever, but to be truly fit, you need more of a skill set than that. You know? Before I started watching bodybuilders, like, Greg was the first time I've ever heard anyone refer to a light walk as cardio. And I mean, I guess it's good. Like, it's good to encourage people to do that if you can. But I also think it's important to encourage people to push a little bit more, which again, Greg does with the Harder Than Last Time. I'm just, you know, kind of rambling on at this point. But like, again, and then there's also just the value of leanness. Idiots like Athlean X, the keto bodybuilder, Tristan Lee, like all these fucking like, and again, I can't speak on their character. Like, I don't know how Tristan Lee is as a person, but like as an influencer, I see him as the natty. I don't even know if he's natty, but assuming he is, Liver King. Like, you know, oh, I eat raw carnivore, whatever. This is why I'm this lean. And then he talks about how, oh, being lean is horrible. I need to go on a bulk. It's not worth it. You say it's not worth it after becoming famous. I googled his net worth, and it was something like $1 million. And sure, it's off, but let's just take half that. How many of you would suffer for 500 grand and fame? You know, you dug your grave, now lie in it. You know, Josh, the Iron Musket, and I have this joke that I say, but it's like, I say it because you chose this life. Why should I pity you? There's so much fucked up about this industry, and it genuinely frustrates me. And from the shady supplements to dealings that I don't entirely agree with, and again, there may be reasons behind the scenes that I don't know, I'll fully admit that. Maybe I'm wrong on both sides, right? Maybe I should be attacking him more, or maybe I shouldn't be, because there's stuff I don't know. I don't know. I'm in the middle here. But, you know, from the shady dealings of supplements, fucking tainted supplements, go watch Josh Brett's video on the topic. It's great. It's a great overview and way more general than this and way more focused than this. To just the business and fitness side of things with exercises, even straight up like full on like classes and routines that are made to be more flash than function, to dumbass, idiot influencers that are literally just an image that know fuck all of anything. Talking about stupid diets and discouraging cardio and making fun of fucking anything of anything. Like, it just pisses me the fuck off. And it's been something that's been on my mind for a while, and I think it's good that I was able to get on here and talk about this. And then there's all these non-disclosure agreements and shit that you have to sign when you work in the industry to say, oh, you can't say this, you can't. Which is why I've been relatively vague about, you know, the organizations and the places I'm talking about and the things that I've seen, because again, I don't want to get sued. So I don't know, you know, just in case, you know, to cover my legal bases, you know. Full disclaimer, all of this is purely hypothetical, and I am not to be listened to. But, yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. I may come back and send another video to Skybox Designs to edit for me, or something, edit in or something, but until the next one, I would like to thank Skybox Designs for editing this video. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting one. It's a little all over the place. I wouldn't be able to keep posting without him, so thanks a lot, Skybox. I would also like to thank all of my Patreon supporters, because speaking of support, I would not be able to do this without you guys, and I appreciate it. I really do. I don't have the Greg Doucette protein powders, and that's another thing. If we want to talk about my hypocrisy, I'm still going to be an HTLT affiliate. I'm still, you know, shilling the protein powders because I like them and I still use them, and as far as I know, there's actually protein in there. But I didn't put them up because I figured, like, people are already probably going to call me a hypocrite for this one, no matter what I say, because I've both defended and, you know, talked about how much I, you know, disagree with stuff. So, but if you want to buy anything, links are in the description. However, because of everything, and again, because of my disagreements with the decisions made by HTLT, I do not recommend that you buy Turk Builder. Does it work? Maybe. Yeah, you know, there are people that say that it does, and who am I to tell them no? However, I disagree with the lack of option to refund, and I believe that a rebrand is in order. And until at the very least the rebrand happens, but even then, I just can't see myself doing it. I cannot in good conscience shill Turk Builder. If you want to buy it through my code, I mean, go right ahead. If you're doing it, like, this small disclaimer from me probably won't stop you, but it is the one product that I just can't put my name behind, just because of all the drama surrounding it, for lack of a better term, and the decisions made by the companies that have been involved with it. Again, I still think the protein powder is good, and I hear the pre-workout's amazing, the fat burners are great, and everything else, but turkesterone specifically, Turk Builder, and really any turkesterone supplement for that matter, do not buy it. I can't in good conscience recommend that you buy it. But if you're gonna buy it, you're probably already set. But to those of you on the fence, and to those of you that want to know what I think, don't. You don't need it. And I'm not doing it, despite the fact that my dream is to be a pro athlete. And that's what the dream I'm currently working towards. Go for everything. Go for the other stuff. There'll probably be a better bang for your buck and more worth your money. So, yeah, that's it for now. Until next time, I am not dead yet. And if you aren't dead either, there is always a tomorrow waiting for you. Stay tuned to the next video because I'm probably going to be ripping into another fitness influencer.